Hey, what's going on, y'all? I have a pretty fun video. I'm just gonna kind of lump a bunch of stuff together that I'm pretty passionate about and have kind of had fun experimenting with and whatnot. That is the world of non-permissive environment weapons. Um, there's a whole subculture on all this different stuff that I can definitely take many different turns, many different roles, and yeah, I mean, and some things obviously more effective than others, um, potentially, and a lot of the time too, you would probably much rather have a knife or something. But I mean, nonetheless, these things can be devastating in their own right, and be able to kind of bypass where the into the weapon-free zones and getting into places that these types of things don't technically belong, but nobody knows what to look for. Not to give a bunch of stuff away, but yeah, this is, I don't know, it's kind of a whole fun world in and of itself that I've been really into, and been picking up on some of these releases. This will start it off with a more overt item, and that's an aluminum block Billy Trident knuckle that can get you through a metal detector, things along those lines, and still do tons of damage in the right capacity and with the right training. Once again, it's not just something that gets you out of hot water, but it can help you get out of hot water, I guess I should say. So a little more, like I said, overt. So obviously, if somebody sees this thing, you can get in some trouble, or they're gonna kick you out of the venue, or airport, or whatever it may be. But that's where this thing comes in, and kind of these as well, the push dagger keys or push keys. These are Turner CNC, and I mean, devastating. There was some guy talking a bunch of mess on these things, and basically the moral of his story was just get a knife. And I mean, that sounds great if you can have a knife again, but I passed through a metal detector. This one's made out of Ultim, kind of a new super plastic that everyone's kind of losing their minds over. And I mean, it's very strong. I've seen the man himself, Billy Trident, hammer it into tree stumps with a fucking 2-pound sludge or whatever he was using, and they hold up really well. They can do tons of damage, and at the end of the day, not quite as, again, not overt, such as a push dagger would be, or something that's banned in many states if you read the laws closely. Things that any kind of investigation would kind of pit against you by the general nastiness that these things are. These are a little bit more subdued and unknown. Not trying to draw a ton of attention to them, but nobody watches these things anyway, so thanks for watching if you are. And this one's traveled with me to a couple different countries as well as different states, and TSA is none the wiser. Don't say that word or they'll appear. But this is a Necromaker. A little bit of goon tape. I'm going to name drop everybody today. Goon tape. But this is a sharpened G10 core that Necromaker epoxies in his own special way that makes these things as impervious as plastic could be to deformation through hard use. Again, he trust but verify. These things are not bulletproof. It's not a rod of titanium, so obviously you could damage it and things like that. It's not meant for a sustained use trench warfare approach. If you're in the trenches, you'll have access to all kinds of fun stuff that TSA doesn't give a shit about right now. But yeah, very sharp, plenty functional, and completely non-magnetic, non-ferrous. Walk right on through anything with it, and it just looks like a Sharpie. That one's kind of in comparison with the Coffin Tramp pencil pusher. I got a purple one too, but yeah, he does these in different colors. He's even done one with an O1 tool steel spike instead of G10. Again, everyone's favorite plastic, G10, that can have a million different applications. In this case, they're just making them pointy and putting wood around them. It's even a functional eraser. And there's even a couple tips on how to kind of put some graphite dust on this thing and a little bit of some type of sticky substance to make it right if the man himself comes out and is like, oh, does this thing right and function as a pencil? This would be an absolute last-ditch effort piece, but a useful little tool nonetheless. But that is the Copus Design nickel knife slash handcuff key. Super fun piece. I think they actually split a nickel perfectly in half and hollowed it out to fit this little blade, a couple little tack welds, or however they got this stuff to stay, and very sharp little simple blade, obviously not quite long enough. There's kind of a moral to the story is nobody wants to get cut with anything, and there's also kind of the approach of don't let the enemy, if you're in a true life or death situation, see the blade until you get it through them a couple of times. There's also that approach where, who knows, in the right hands and the right luck, you could really fuck some shit up with this thing. If, obviously, it's no replacement for a nice full-size pocket knife. It's not what I'm claiming on any of this stuff, though. It's just, if you really, really need it and this is all you got, well, it's better than your dick in your hand. Yeah, and the last one that's definitely more of an offensive weapon, though it can be kind of last-ditch effort. This is the Cucaracha from Ruelas Tools. Cat out of Mexico City. I might be lying about that. He's from Mexico. He's national and does a lot of cool stuff for like dog rescues, I've been noticing lately. But these can kind of act as your last-ditch claws if you really need them to be. And then this is like kind of a, what does he call it? Like a friction rope. You can use it to saw PVC pipes and things like that. And I've seen it be pretty devastating in a pork shoulder for some of those, organic medium testing things that Ed's Manifesto puts on once in a while. So name dropping all of my favorite vendors, basically, not trying to whore myself out, just how it happens sometimes when they make really cool stuff that I can't resist my credit card on. This is, I don't know, a meter, 3 feet long of this friction rope, and yeah, these kind of little, again, G10 bits that you can kind of use as your last ditch claw or wrap somebody up if they're, I don't know, throwing 36 fists, and you can get them kind of wrapped around themselves. Again, not ideal. It even comes with a little chem light in there if you need to saw yourself out of plastic handcuffs, but not an ideal piece if you're really going to war. But again, much better than nothing. Again, wanted to say thank you for kind of following me on this little journey and allowing me to just kind of bullshit and show off my collection when the mood arises. And thank you to all these makers who make really cool stuff that I'm going to keep supporting as long as I can. And hope I never have to use this stuff. Had this one mounted up a couple of times. Nothing terrible ever had to happen, luckily. But again, much happier I had it packed and ready to go than just being fully unassuming and getting walked on or something. But longest one yet, I kind of just lumped in a whole bunch of different people I'm a fanboy for, and hope you guys are having a great day. If you like this stuff, please like and subscribe. Until next time, y'all. Thank you.